Hello, friends. Welcome once again in learning the physics and chapter of current electricity. So already we have discussed in last two lectures about the Kirchhoff laws and the concept of Western bridge and its first application as Western meter bridge or simply meter bridge. So these topics already we have learned in the last lecture. Now we will begin with the applications of meter bridge and that application as Kelvin's method to find resistance of galvanometer. So for that we should know the concept of meter bridge, its formula and its working, how the meter bridge work as the combination of four resistance. So we try to draw the diagram of meter bridge and then we have the application number first as the Kelvin's method to find the resistance of galvanometer. Let us try to draw the diagram of meter bridge circuit and then we begin with the small topic of errors and then we have the Kelvin's method to find resistance of galvanometer. Check carefully how to draw the diagram of meter bridge. Oh, now check here the three metal strips. So this is L shape first strip, second L shape strip, and this is a straight small strip here. Point A and point C is connected with a uniform wire. That wire is of uniform cross section and 1 meter in length or 100 centimeter in length. For that purpose, for measurement of length, we fix the measuring scale so this is meter scale fixed at the 0 at point A and the 100 centimeter at point C. So this is the Western meter bridge circuit or simply meter bridge circuit in which we have one gap called left hand side gap and second one right hand side gap. Now this particular meter bridge circuit has number of application to find unknown resistance that already we have learned in last lecture, and the first application in this lecture is to find the resistance of galvanometer. So in that particular case we connect the galvanometer in left gap and resistance box in the right gap of meter bridge. So here we have the resistance box in application of meter bridge as to find galvanometer, resistance of galvanometer. So in that case, galvanometer is connected in left gap. In finding the unknown resistance, the galvanometer should be connected between the B and D point. But for application of Kelvin's method, resistance of galvanometer by Kelvin's method, so we connect the galvanometer in left gap, and from point B we have the jockey contact, and that will be point obtained on this wire is suppose D. Now in that case, the length from A to D point, that is opposite to G or opposite to galvanometer, that is taken as suppose LG. So this will be length left hand side. From D to C, we have the length taken as the LR. Opposite to the resistance box or resistance, we have length will be LR. Opposite to G, we have length LG, that is A to D, LG, D to C, LR. So with the help of the cell having EMF E or battery having EMF E, with the help of key and rheostat RH, we have the current flowing through the circuit here, and with the help of that we can find the resistance of galvanometer in this application here. But before that, we have small topic of errors in that measurement. So what are the different types of error in the meter bridge circuit, that we are going to discuss here, and then we have the method to find resistance of galvanometer. So before going to start with this particular application to find resistance of galvanometer, we have small topic of error, and then we have the concept of how to find resistance of galvanometer. So this is technique of drawing a diagram, how to draw a diagram, from which point we begin with. So this will be the technique here. Now let us begin with the presentation, in which we have the small topic of error and their minimization. Now check here. Check carefully the screen, in which the first, or we have the topic of sources of error in meter bridge circuit. So number first is cross section of wire may not be uniform. Suppose wire is thick at certain point, certain places, and thin at other places, then there may be a variation in the resistance of wire. So wire should have the uniform cross section. So this is first condition or first source of error, because of the cross section. If cross section of wire may not be uniform, then we have error. The ends of, number second, the ends of wire are shouldered to the metallic strips where contact resistance is developed, which is not taken into account. So when we shoulder the metal wire at point A and at point C, at that time there may be a contact resistance. Suppose soldering is not done properly, then we have the concept of the contact resistance, and that will be possible for the error in measurement of either resistance or the other quantities. So this will be develop the error in measurement. Now number third is measurement of LX and LR may not be accurate. So sometimes we have fixed the scale or meter scale which is not properly set at A point at the 0 or C point at 100. There may be a different or may not coincide, then there is a possibility of the error in measurement of resistance. So these are the sources of error, and we have the concept of minimization. how to minimize these errors that we have in the next slide. So to minimize the error, what we have, the first and second and third point. So first point, we begin with the value of R is so adjusted that the null point is obtained to middle one third of wire. Null point means galvanometer show zero deflection. So that zero deflection point should be at one third of the length. One third means, suppose if we have 100 centimeter length, 100 is divided into, suppose, 3, so 33 point something or 34. So beyond 34 and up to 66. So in between 34 to 66, we should have the null point. Then there is the minimization of error. So the null point should be adjusted between 34 to 66. Accordingly, we have to select the value of R from resistance box. So what we have, so that percentage error in measurement of Lx and Lr are minimum and nearly same. So this will be the condition. So when we begin with our practicals, then we have the concept of how to take readings or how we adjust the length or null point in between 34 to 66. So that is a practical work. So when we begin with our practical or experiments, then we will explain once again practically how to take readings in between 34 to 66. Now number second, the experiment is repeated by interchanging the position of unknown resistance X and known resistance box R. So in case of finding unknown resistance, that is the meter bridge circuit, we can interchange the unknown resistance X and the resistance box R. So let us recall the last lecture's topic, what we have learned in the last lecture and last topic. Check the diagram here. See here. So this is meter bridge circuit. Already we have explained in the last lecture. So what we have connect here in the left gap, LG left gap in diagram, unknown resistance X, and on right hand side or right gap we have resistance box having resistance R. So when we have the calculation of null point and corresponding Lx, Lr, then we interchange the value X with R, or X will be connected from left to right gap and right to left. In that case, we eliminate the error in measurement of X here. So this will be the method. Already we have learned this meter bridge circuit. So this will be the interchanging process. So when we perform the practical, first 3 readings we take for the resistance X will be in left gap, and another set of 3 readings in which we take resistance X on right hand side gap. So that is practical work. When we perform the practical, then we have the method of interchanging here. Now number third, the jockey should be tapped on wire and not slided. So we have to just touch the jockey. So that jockey will be not slide, but we have to touch on that particular wire or meter bridge wire, so that the error should be minimized here. So this will be the minimization of the errors in case of meter bridge circuit. That is useful in case of finding unknown resistance X also. So in this experiment also. And now we begin with the next application of the meter bridge as a Kelvin's method to determine the resistance of galvanometer G by using meter bridge here. So this already circuit we have drawn on the board. So left hand side we have galvanometer G, then right hand side we have resistance box R. So we have the symbol of resistance, and this arrow shows there is a changing, we can change that resistance according to changing the keys of resistance. So on right hand side we have resistance R. You can draw the box like this or the symbol like this. Then we have the wire, meter bridge wire stretched between point A to C. So from A to C we have the meter bridge wire having 1 meter length or 100 centimeter in length. Then we have the connection of supply, power supply. From A to we have positive of battery elementor E, then negative to key to rheostat to C point, and below the meter bridge wire, we have fixed the meter scale. So how to draw in case of diagram? So we learn this particular diagram. So that is the Kelvin's method. So here we have one more thing. Point B is directly connected to the jockey, and that jockey will be used to find the deflection, and that particular point on this metal wire or meter bridge wire is D point. So we have 4 points. Check carefully. Point A, B, C, and D, and corresponding 4 resistance. So here we have galvanometer. So galvanometer is generally used to sense the current or to check the current here. So that has a coil, and coil has certain resistance. So that resistance we are going to found in this particular experiment. Then from B to C we have the resistance box, that is known resistance, and from A to D wire having length Lg and having corresponding resistance. Then D to C again we have length of wire Lr and having corresponding resistance. So this will be the circuit diagram. Now how to measure or how to perform that particular experiment, that we are going to understood as a working. So check first point. A suitable resistance is taken in the resistance box. So certain value of resistance, for example 40, 50, 60, like this in ohms we have to taken out. So that resistance will be connected in right gap. Now without touching the jockey, at any part of the wire, the deflection in galvanometer is observed. Now we have to observe the deflection in galvanometer. Now check carefully how to set the deflection. Now second point, the rheostat is adjusted to get a suitable deflection around 2/3 of range. Now what is meaning of the second point is, galvanometer has center 0, and on left hand side or right hand side we have 30° and 30°. Suppose we have 2/3, so 2/3 means suppose 10 degrees or 20 degrees. So we have to set the pointer of galvanometer. So galvanometer doesn't show 0° deflection, but it shows certain divisions or degrees deflection. That deflection we have to set with the help of rheostat. By sliding the rheostat, we set the deflection in galvanometer, suppose 2/3. So 2/3 is, suppose we have 30° deflection, then we have 20 divisions, 30 divisions and 20 divisions. So we set the galvanometer on 20, for example. Either you can set on 15 or 20. So like this we have to set certain divisions or degrees in deflection. So we set the galvanometer to show 2/3 of range. Suppose we consider 20 degrees or 20 divisions. So that 20 divisions we have to set with the help of rheostat. So that is important part. Now the jockeys tap at different points of wire and point of contact D, for which galvanometer shows no change in deflection is found. Now check carefully that, check the diagram here. B to D, jockey point. Jockey we have to touch and different point from A to C. So when we touch at these particular points and go towards from A to C, then what happens? Galvanometer shows certain deflection. Now we tapping and go towards from A to C. At that case, certain point D will be obtained. For which the galvanometer will show no change in deflection. Suppose galvanometer is set to 20 divisions, and for point D also remain on 20 divisions. So that is called the equal deflection or equal deflection method. So we have to set the galvanometer or the point D such that the galvanometer show same deflection or no change in deflection. Either we connect to the metal wire or disconnect. Galvanometer showed 20-degree deflection, no change in deflection. So that is the important condition. In case of meter bridge, to find unknown resistance, then that case we have to find null deflection. But here in this case, we have to find the equal deflection, means either we connect to the metal wire or disconnect. Galvanometer showed 20-degree deflection. And for that, we have to measure the length. Check the fourth point. As a galvanometer show the same deflection with or without contact between point B and D, these 2 points must be equipotential. So when galvanometer show equal deflection, the 2 points will be has equipotential. So no current will flow from that points. Now number 5th, length of the bridge wire between point D and the left end of the wire is measured. Point D and left of the wire. Point D and left of the wire, that as LG we have to measure here. And corresponding right hand side taken as LR. Now check carefully. Let LG be the length of segment of wire opposite to galvanometer. Opposite to galvanometer already we have explained. And LR be the length of segment opposite to resistance box. Now what we have important part, the calculation. Now what we calculate, let RAD means resistance of wire between A and D. So RAD and RDC be the resistance of 2 parts of wire AD and DC respectively. Since bridge is balanced, now when we have the equal deflection in galvanometer, or there is no change in deflection, in that case we have bridge is said to be balanced. Now balancing condition of bridge is, we have in Western meter bridge, so P upon Q, R upon S like this. So we have galvanometer resistance G divided by R, and resistance of length LG divided by resistance of length LR. So that we have taken in formula, G upon R is equal to RAD divided by RDC. Now according to calculation, or we have concept of resistance depend upon length, area of cross section, and resistivity. We have RAD divided by RDC is equal to LG upon LR. That formula we have as a reference in meter bridge. Check carefully where we have used that formula. RAD is equal to rho LX divided by A, and RDB is equal to rho LR divided by A. So that is the formula we have learned in 11th standard. Resistance directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to cross sectional area, and proportionality constant is called rho, that is called resistivity. And taking ratio of RAD divided by RDB, so rho and A will be get cancelled, LX upon LR in case of the concept of or topic of meter bridge. But in case of our topic of Kelvin's method to find galvanometer, we have RAD divided by RDC, length will be taken as LG divided by LR. So this we are going to use in this equation, previous equation. So G divided by R equal to RAD and RDC taken as the LG upon LR. So we have that formula for the galvanometer, G upon R we can taken as LG divided by 100 minus LG. Suppose LR is replaced as 100 centimeter minus LG. Now how this will be obtained? Total length of the wire will be 100 centimeter, and we have, suppose this is 40 and this is 60 suppose. So we write like this, LG divided by 60, suppose LG 40, LR 60. Now we write the LR in terms of LG. So total will be 100 minus suppose 40, we obtain 60 suppose. So that 60 we can write like this, 100 minus 40. So we have LG on left hand side, and right hand side total will be 100 minus LG as LR. 100 minus LG, we obtain LR like this. So instead of writing we have LR, we have 100 minus Lg, all this length will be taken in centimeters. Now for galvanometer G, having resistance G, so G will be taken as Lg upon 100 minus Lg into R. So this is the important formula to find resistance of galvanometer using Kelvin's method. So this formula we are going to use in case of practicals also when we have the practicals. Check carefully all the steps and try to write down all these steps. Now we have the second application of the meter bridge as a post office box. Now that is as an additional topic. So let us check the four resistance in this circuit also. So point A, then point B, then point C, and below we have point D. Now check carefully, there are four resistances in this circuit. Circuit is little bit complicated, but when we observe according to Wheatstone bridge, then we have 4 points and 4 resistances. So that we have to search in this circuit here. Now check point A and B, we have the resistance P. So between A and B, we have resistance P. Then B and C, we have resistance Q. Then from A and D, we have the resistance R. Check carefully. So this will be the resistance box. Already resistance box we know. So resistance box will be taken in zigzag form like this. From C to D, we have the keys of resistance box like this. So you have already observed the resistance box in practical lab. That resistance box will be taken as a symbol S like this. From C to A and then from A to D, we have number of keys. So this will be A to D, we have resistance R. And from C to D, we have unknown resistance X. So we have four resistance P, Q, R and X. So again, the supply is given between A and C. Check carefully. Point A, this dash line, key K1, and this will be goes to negative and positive goes to C point like this. So between A and C, we have connected the cell or battery having EMF E. Then next point, we connect B and D as a galvanometer G. So this dashed line from point B, we have key K2 and galvanometer G, and then we have the point D like this. So this will be the circuit diagram for post office box. Now, what are the shortcut points that we have taken in the next slide? So P and Q point, check carefully, the resistance in arm P and Q are fixed to desired ratio. The arms P and Q, suppose we have taken these two resistance. Suppose we have 10 plus 10, suppose 20. And here we have suppose 100 plus 100, 200 suppose for example, 50, 50 and 100 like this. Suppose we have 20 and suppose here is 200. So 20 and 200, if we take ratio, P upon Q or Q upon P, ratio will be 10 suppose. So that type of ratio we have to fix. Suppose P upon Q, 20 divided by 200, so 1 upon 10 like this. So that ratio will be in terms of 10, 100, 1000 like this. So that ratio is fixed here. The resistance in the arm R is adjusted so that galvanometer show no deflection. Now the bridge is balanced. So value of resistance R. So we have number of combination for R, that R is selected such that galvanometer show null deflection. So when galvanometer show null deflection, that is called balancing condition. Bridge is said to be balanced. Now we have the unknown resistance X is equal to R upon P into Q or Q upon P into R. So this is formula for finding the R. We know the value of R according to resistance box. So these all values are on resistance box. Q, P and R. By using that formula, we can find unknown resistance. And if you have to find out the resistivity of material, then we have formula rho is equal to X pi R square divided by L like this. So this already we have learn in 11th standard, resistivity rho is equal to x unknown resistance, area pi r square divided by length. R is radius of wire and L is length of wire. If we have taken unknown wire having unknown resistance in a shape of wire like this. Now we have the next topic, important topic of the potentiometer here. Now check carefully the diagram of potentiometer. So what we have given, so this is also a new topic for chapter of current electricity. Now check carefully. Potentiometer is one such device which does not draw any current from circuit. It acts as an ideal voltmeter. It is used for accurate measurement of potential difference. So it is one type of device, just like voltmeter or ammeter. So that is one type of device which does not draw current. So we know voltmeter and ammeter draws the current from the circuit, and by drawing that current, they show the deflection. But this potentiometer device doesn't draw the current from the circuit, and this is used to measure the potential difference. Now see, at the beginning, what is the principle of potentiometer principle, and the simple diagram is shown here. Now check carefully what potentiometer consists of. Point A and point B has, in between them we have stretch or fix the uniform wire, metallic wire. Metallic wire is stretched from point A to B in this zigzag form like this. So from suppose A to one side, this each side having suppose 1 meter. So 1 meter, 2, then 3, and suppose 4 lines. So 4-meter wire is fixed between point A to B here. Now point A is given a supply with the help of battery eliminator or cell, which is connected generally it is connected to the positive terminal, and negative and internal resistance of cell or battery R, and then it is goes to the point B. So A is at higher potential compared to B. So this is simple circuit which will be act as potentiometer. It has a number of applications and uses. One more point is, we consider any general point C on this potentiometer wire which has small l length between A and C. Again, we have certain consideration. From point A to B, total length of wire from point A to B as suppose capital L, and resistance from A to B we have taken as capital R. So that we have taken in the next slide here. Check carefully. When the circuit is switched on, so when we switch on, current start flowing in this circuit. Cell supply the current in this circuit. Closed circuit, current start flowing. Now current can be calculated like this. So current through AB, from A to B, how much current is flowing in this segment we can found by the simple formula. Current I is equal to the EMF E divided by resistance. So EMF E and resistance, there are two parts of resistance. Wire from A to B having resistance R, and there is small r resistance. These will be in series here. So RAB and small r, that is total resistance in this circuit. So we have EMF E divided by R plus small r. Small r is internal resistance of cell or battery, and capital R is resistance of wire. So that much amount of current will flow through the wire of potentiometer. That is equation number, suppose, first. Now potential across AB is, potential across AB we have taken VAB. Now according to Ohm's law, we have V is equal to I into R. So VAB is equal to I into R. So I is current flowing through that wire and R is resistance of that wire. That is equation number 2. Now what we have taken in number 3rd, using 1 in 2, equation of current we have to use in number second. So VAB is equal to, this is ER divided by R plus R. So I will be taken as E divided by R plus R, E divided by R plus R into here is R like this. So this is obtained as equation number 3. Now we have the important condition, check carefully. Therefore, potential difference per unit length, potential difference means VAB suppose, and divide by length means capital L. So we calculate this particular quantity VAB divided by L, that is equal to VAB, we have formula epsilon R, ER divided by R plus R, ER divided by R plus R and divided by L here. So this is the important new quantity called potential difference per unit length as equation number 4. Now what is the name of this quantity? That is given in the next slide. Check carefully. As long as, what is condition here? As long as the E remain constant, means EMF remain constant, VAB divided by L will also remain constant. So as EMF of cell or battery remain constant, then VAB divided by L, potential divided by length L, that also remain constant. And that quantity VAB divided by L is known as potential gradient along AB, and it is denoted by K here. Now check carefully the name of the quantity, potential VAB divided by length, potential per unit length, is known as a potential gradient. So similarly, as we have the last year syllabus, chapter number 1st, we have temperature gradient. We learn the concept of temperature gradient. In that we have temperature divided by length of a particular uniform rod or heat conductor like this. So here we have potential gradient means potential divided by length. So this is new quantity and which remain constant. So check carefully how to define the potential gradient. Potential gradient can be defined as potential difference per unit length of wire. Potential gradient can be defined as potential difference per unit length of wire, means potential divided by length, that is called potential gradient. The potential difference between A and C is VAC. Now we have taken point C. Check carefully. We have taken point C, which is near to the point A. So between A and B, we have another point C, and that point is at a distance small l. So what about that point? We have given the potential difference. Check second last line. The potential difference between A and C is VAC. So therefore VAC is equal to that constant quantity is K as the potential gradient into L. So that can be obtained in this formula here. So potential gradient means epsilon or VAB divided by L. So this VAB divided by L as a constant quantity, and that will be K here. So VAC is equal to K times small l. VAC and corresponding length will be AC length is small l and constant K here. So we can say that from this formula, VAC is directly proportional to L here. So that can be understood from this formula. VAB divided by L, epsilon R, capital L, then R plus R, all these quantities are constant. Suppose we write for VAB, so VAB is equal to L value goes on right hand side, so that will be LL get cancelled here. Now same formula if you write for VAC, so VAC is equal to same this term epsilon R L divided by R plus R and into its length. Suppose VAB is L, so VAC is its length small l. So VAC is equal to constant K, that constant K as VAB divided by L or this quantity, equation number 4. So that constant quantity is, here is K into its length L. So we write VAC is proportional to L as equation number 5. So VAC means potential between A and C proportional to length between A and C. And that is the potential principle or principle of potentiometer. Now check carefully a statement. The potential difference between 2 points on wire. Potential difference between 2 points on wire. Any 2 points on wire is directly proportional to length of wire between those 2 points. Directly proportional to length of wire between those 2 points, provided that we have certain conditions. Wire is of uniform cross section, the current through the wire is remain same, and temperature of wire remain constant here. So there are three factors should remain constant. Wire should have uniform cross section, current should remain constant, temperature of wire should remain constant. In that case, potential difference directly proportional to length. So this is a principle of potentiometer. So this potentiometer topic has a number of applications, so that we will discuss. So what is the uses of potentiometer? For example, first number as to compare the EMF of cell, that we will learn in the next lecture. So before that, what we have to study here for the next topic is carefully try to understood the topic of potentiometer here. Potentiometer is different and meter bridge is different here. So meter bridge and has application, suppose Kelvin's method to find unknown resistance of gallonmeter, then post office box, that topic related to the bridge circuit. And next will be potentiometer is the different topic here. So that will be has again the applications or uses in practicals. Also we have more than 3 practicals related with the potentiometer here. So there are 2 important topic in this chapter: meter bridge circuit and potentiometer circuit. And that chapter has the number of practicals, 4 to 5 practicals related to the particular Western meter bridge and potentiometer in chapter of current electricity. So try on repeating that particular points by checking the slides and note down the notes. Try to write your own notes by using that slides, textbook, and other reference books, for example. Okay, thank you.